It could have been a draw. Christek told me it was a draw.
Two judges had it
10-10.
much closer. But who said it was a draw?
Christek.
Would you advise him not to do the rematch then?
From a boxing sense, absolutely. From a financial sense, you know, if he wants another 50, 60, 70, 80 million, whatever it is, how can you say no?
I mean, looking at the fight, bro, like, it was competitive. Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford, man. I don't know how many rounds I actually gave Canelo, but I want to see a rematch.
We are planning, of course, Canelo will get back to my country between February to March, something like this, for second fight.
Win or lose?
A lot of secrets and big announcement, big surprise. Maybe it will be exclusive with you and your new program, inshallah, next week.
I don't know why the result like this, but in my opinion, I will focus and I will try to do the rematch.
I was just about to say that. We know that you are all about making the best fight possible.
If they accept, we will do it.
Would do worse the next fight. I think he would put it on Canelo a little worse than that, because I think some of what we saw from Canelo is...
Turki Alalshikh has confirmed that Canelo Alvarez is set to return to Saudi Arabia for a rematch with Terence Crawford in 2026. Looking ahead to the rematch, Robert Garcia also expressed interest, stating that he would love to see it happen. He believes Canelo Alvarez has a clear path to victory over Crawford. While acknowledging Crawford's talent, Garcia argued that Canelo's superior strength and ability to absorb punches would be the deciding factors. His advice for Canelo is to stay aggressive, press forward continuously, and keep throwing punches until he lands effectively.
He needs to make a change, I think. I would love to see the rematch. I think in the rematch, if he comes back with the hunger that he needs, he could beat Crawford. Because Crawford, you know, is very talented, but I think Canelo could beat him. Canelo's strong, man. Canelo's strong. Canelo could take a good punch. So I think he could just go and don't respect his punch and throw punches even though you're gonna get hit. But don't give up. Keep going.
Furthermore, Garcia said he believes a rematch would be highly competitive only if Canelo makes significant changes to his strategy. He added that fans would stay invested in the fight with those adjustments, but warned that if Canelo approaches it the same way, people will expect the same outcome as the first bout.
People are talking rematch. Do you think if there is a rematch, it'll be more of the same?
I think if there is a rematch, it would be pretty challenging, and the people would still believe in it if he made those changes that I'm saying. If not, if it stays the same, then we're gonna have people are going to think we're going to have the same response.
Moving forward, Terence Crawford expressed his admiration for Canelo Alvarez, saying he has been a fan for years. He praised Canelo as a complete fighter, noting his balance, counterpunching, defense, and punch selection. Crawford also highlighted Canelo's power, devastating left hook, and dangerous overhand right, describing him as a truly great fighter.
Big fan of Canelo. I've been watching Canelo for years. You know, I can't say one thing that he don't do good. He got great balance. He got great counter punching ability. He got great defense. He got great punch selection. He got great feints, great power, great left hook, great overhand right. You know, he's a great fighter.
According to Eddie Hearn, while Canelo Alvarez remains a great fighter, he is no longer the dominant force he once was. He confirmed that a rematch clause likely exists in Canelo's contract. However, Hearn believes a rematch would end the same way, stating that Crawford's style and movement are unfavorable for Canelo and that he simply would not overcome him.
Where does he go from here after a loss to someone like Crawford?
I mean, I think a lot of it depends on how you're feeling. You know, I mean, I don't talk to Canelo much anymore, other than a few messages now and again. So I can't tell you personally how he feels about boxing and where he's at in his life. He's a true competitor. He's nowhere near the fighter that he once was, but he's still a great fighter. I believe they have a rematch clause. I'm not sure exactly. I mean, I'm sure there's some kind of wording, because Canelo doesn't enter a fight without some kind of wording in terms of rematch clause. But he's just not going to beat Terence Crawford. It's the style's all wrong for him, the movement's all wrong for him. And that's what I said. You know, going into the fight, I really believed Crawford would win in the style that he...
However, Hearn gave a blunt assessment, saying that from a purely boxing standpoint, he would advise Canelo Alvarez against taking a rematch with Terence Crawford. He immediately acknowledged the financial reality, noting that turning down a potential $80 million payday is impossible. Despite the massive incentive, Hearn stated he does not believe Canelo could win the fight, even if they boxed 4 or 5 times.
Do the rematch then?
From a boxing sense, absolutely. From a financial sense, you know, if he wants another 50, 60, 70, 80 million, whatever it is, how can you say no? Do I think he could win the fight? No. I think they could box another 4 or 5 times. I don't think he'd win the fight.
Meanwhile, Robert Garcia suggested that Canelo Alvarez should make a strategic change by bringing a new voice into his training camp. He believes this would generate positive attention and show that Canelo is adapting. Garcia emphasized that even a small adjustment could significantly impact the outcome of a potential rematch.
They made a few changes, you know, maybe adding somebody, you know, to camp where they're gonna come and help out, maybe change things around. I don't know, man. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't know what the way they think. I don't know how they do it, but it would probably get a little bit of attention, you know, with the media, because everybody's gonna be thinking, oh, that's it. He's never gonna, you know, he's done the last few fights the same, so we don't think he's gonna change. Maybe something else, a little change will probably make a difference.
Furthermore, Garcia praised Terence Crawford's performance against Canelo, calling it a clear and impressive victory. He stated that Crawford won most rounds, while Canelo may have taken only 3, strongly rejecting any notion of a draw. Garcia added that Crawford should not retire yet and should have a rematch before ending his career.
Canelo fight.
It was a beautiful performance by Crawford.
He finished strong. He won 3 of the last 4 rounds.
Beautiful performance. He won most of the rounds. Canelo won maybe 3 rounds.
I had it much closer. It could have been a draw. Christek told me it was a draw.
2 judges had it
10-10.
much closer. But no. Who said it was a draw?
Christek,
come here.
Where is he at? So, okay, Crawford wins. What does he do from here, Robert?
Retire and enjoy and be one of the best in history.
So
that's it.
You were Crawford, you would retire.
Maybe give him the rematch.
According to Dan Rafael, there is no automatic rematch clause for Canelo in his contract for the Terence Crawford fight, confirmed by Canelo's team. However, Rafael noted that Canelo has a 2-fight deal with Turki Alalshikh, meaning a rematch could still happen if Turkey wants it, but Crawford cannot be forced into an immediate second fight.
I think there was another thing circling about potential rematch between Crawford and Canelo, but Shannon, you know when they make these contracts a lot of the time, and obviously we know it makes a lot of money regardless, but is that something that people are going to be as best invested in?
I don't think so, and what I am told by Canelo's people.
However, Turki Alalshikh has confirmed that Canelo Alvarez is scheduled to return to Saudi Arabia for a second fight with Crawford in 2026. He revealed a multi-fight plan for Canelo, including at least 2 more fights in 2027, and promised major announcements and big surprises for the coming year. Alalshikh also stated there will be at least 3 major events, describing them as something you cannot imagine.
Of course, Canelo will get back to my country between February to March, something like this, for second fight.
Win or lose?
Win or lose, of course. We have still 2 fights more with Canelo, and we are thinking and planning to offer for him also at least 2 fights more in 27. Let's see, we are planning to do cards maybe in January, and there is a lot of secrets and big announcement, big surprise. Maybe it will be exclusive with you and your new program, inshallah, next week for the next year. Something, at least 3 big events. You cannot imagine.
Meanwhile, Paulie Malignaggi suggested that Canelo Alvarez should not go straight into a rematch with Terence Crawford. He proposed that Canelo first face and decisively beat Chris Eubank Jr. after Eubank's bout with Conor Benn. Malignaggi believes a dominant win over Eubank would restore Canelo's mystique and confidence, making the public view him as ready for a more competitive rematch with Crawford.
Does the rematch method. I'll tell you what they should do. Not they should do, but my personal opinion to make it better. Fight Eubank after the Ben fight. You know, I think he'll mop the floor with Eubank, and then, you know, it'll give more self-belief. You have the surgery, whatever you have to have. beat Eubank, because now you don't have a title, so it's not like a waste of time to defend titles against Eubank. Beat Eubank, and that creates a mystique again. Like, oh, Canelo's back. He's destroyed somebody. He's looking good. Now he's ready for Crawford, because you see the way his shoulder looked in this fight, the way his elbow looked in this fight. He looked great against Eubank. Again, theoretically speaking. And then you make these...
After his loss, Canelo Alvarez gave full credit to Terence Crawford, acknowledging him as a great fighter who deserved the win. He said he had trained hard and tried everything in the ring, but ultimately admitted that he could not overcome Crawford's style.
I already know, we knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard. And he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Similarly, after the fight, Canelo Alvarez expressed openness to a rematch, believing it would be another great fight. He reflected on his legacy, emphasizing that he takes high-risk fights out of love for boxing. Despite the loss, he gave full credit to Crawford and affirmed that he still feels strong and motivated.
Great to share the ring with great fighters like him. And if we do it again, it's going to be great. But you know what? I'm glad to share the ring with great fighters. And I'm glad to be here. I already did a lot in boxing. I already accomplished a lot in boxing. My legacy is already there. And I still taking risks because I love boxing. Crawford is a great fighter, skilled fighter. And I get the credit to Crawford, obviously. And I feel great. I still feel the same.
Henry Cejudo also spoke in favor of a rematch for Canelo. He acknowledged that while the fight was competitive and Canelo landed some body shots, Crawford controlled most of the bout. Despite this, Cejudo wants to see a rematch, noting Canelo's explanation that he didn't feel physically right and his body wasn't responding properly during the fight.
Canelo did hit him to the body, but it was pretty much all Terence Crawford, man. I don't know how many rounds I actually gave Canelo, but I want to see a rematch. I want to see a rematch because Canelo did mention, oh, I didn't feel good. Like, my body was just, it wasn't reacting. My mind wanted to, but there was something physically with my body that it just felt different.
From Kamaru Usman's perspective, he analyzed that Terence Crawford would likely beat Canelo Alvarez even more decisively in a rematch. He suggested that Canelo's current fighting style, used in his last 6 to 8 fights, has become a permanent pattern due to possible physical changes or past injuries. Usman noted that this same pattern made Canelo vulnerable against Dimitri Bivol and believes it would be ineffective against Crawford's abilities.
The next fight, I think he would put it on Canelo a little worse than that, because I think some of what we saw from Canelo is just what he's asked to resort to now to fight. Maybe he's dealt with some injuries to where he's not as mobile as he used to be, which I'm not counting anybody out. But from what we're seeing, it's just the pattern that he's put himself in for the last, 6 to 8 fights, because that same pattern is why Bivol was able to get him. And so I just don't think the way that style of fight, I don't think he beats someone like Terence Crawford. No. And I think Terence Crawford...
Moving forward, Canelo Alvarez expressed deep respect for Terence Crawford, acknowledging him as one of the best fighters in recent years. However, he made it clear that while everyone can have their opinions, his sole focus is on entering the fight and securing a win.
For me, he's one of the best fighters in the last years, and he accomplished so much. So for me, means a lot, this win. So, and either way, for me, opinions is our opinions, and I just gonna go there and win the fight.
Reflecting on the previous fight, Andre Ward praised Terence Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez as a display of true greatness. He noted that at 37, Crawford had to fight a more dangerous and calculated fight to secure the win, proving he is the GOAT of his generation. Ward also credited Canelo for taking the challenging fight and Turki Alalshikh for making the event possible.
Terence Crawford create greatness and beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. What was your thoughts on that performance from Terence?
From Terence Crawford, great performance, man. He's been doing this throughout the course of his career. The stakes were a lot different in this fight, a lot more danger. He had to fight that kind of fight in order to beat Canelo Alvarez tonight. And he did that at 37, but getting ready to be 38 years old. And he proved, like Max said, that he is the GOAT of this generation. Hats off to Canelo for taking the fight. He didn't have to take it. Hats off to Turki Alalshikh for putting it together. Just a great.
Moving on, Hamza Shiraz admitted his prediction for the fight was completely wrong, giving full credit to Terence Crawford for a dominant performance. He stated that Crawford cemented his status as one of boxing's all-time greats. Shiraz was most surprised by Crawford standing his ground, dominating the clinches, and physically manhandling Canelo with ease, showing unexpected strength at the 168 pounds weight class.
I was so off, bro. Yeah. I'm known for my predictions to be so shit, bro. Yeah,
come on, like David Hay.
Yeah, my predictions are so off, but massive props to Crawford. Domination, and that's what it was, wasn't it? It was domination, and he looked comfortable at 168 pounds. Yeah, man, he cemented himself as one of the GOATs in boxing yet last night.
What surprised you the most by Crawford, would you say?
You know what surprised me the most? Him holding his feet and still dominating, being strong enough to exchange in the clinches, and manhandling Canelo a bit, man, turning him around like it was nothing.
Trainer Brian Bullmac McIntyre stated that the fight unfolded exactly as planned, with Canelo stepping forward and throwing wide shots as expected. Bullmac admitted there's always tension in the corner during a fight, but upon reflection, he concluded that Crawford made it look easy and remained in complete control throughout.
Said how we thought it was going to go. Did it? It was 100%. Him stepping forward, him throwing the wide shots, him moving his head, him trying to fight on the inside. It went just like how we wanted it to go. That's what performance you guys got from Terence.
Was it easier than you expected? Because, I mean, he made it look easy in there. We were talking upstairs, talking about like when you're doing the little pitter-patter shots and then whamming the shots, and that means you're in total control in your comfort zone. Was it easier than you expected?
Let me tell you this, man. So, like in the corner, going through the fight, you just like, kind of like tensed up a little bit, is he doing this, is he doing that right? But after the fight was over and then you sit back and you watch the
Canelo Alvarez is back in the gym, fully focused and preparing for his rematch with Terence Crawford. Every punch he lands on the heavy bag reflects his determination and unwavering focus on one goal. In the gym, Canelo showcases his complete game, expertly defending from the front, alternating body shots to both sides, and displaying the defensive skill and destructive power he plans to bring against Terence Crawford in his upcoming fight. The stage is set for boxing history. With Turki Alalshikh's confirmation, the world can anticipate the monumental 2026 rematch between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez in Saudi Arabia. While experts like Robert Garcia believe strategic changes could make the fight competitive, others such as Eddie Hearn and Kamaru Usman remain convinced that Crawford's style is a tough puzzle for Canelo. Whether it becomes a repeat of Crawford's mastery or the epic comeback Canelo envisions, one thing is certain: this rematch will define legacies, captivate millions, and showcase why boxing is the theater of the unexpected. The countdown to 2026 has begun. Who do you think will win? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe for more expert boxing analysis.